JB1963 says, would you guys say that the next most important speaker after the Centrivis, in fact, the sub? It's got to cover all the baseball field for most surround heights. I'm still stuck on the Centrivis.
Centrivist. What is that?
Center of this.
Center of this.
Yeah. No, I have no idea. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so which is a center channel and subwoofer, right? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah.
A lot of people say the center is the most important.
Is in fact the sub. Okay. It's got to cover all the.
I would say the sub is number one. Actually, the sub is number one
for a home theater
setup. In a home theater setup,
I might agree with that.
Because
if
you have some decent stereo speakers, I think you can kind of get away with no center. But in a home theater with no sub, it's not going to be very good for a movie. Like, you know,
I don't even think surrounds are that great, right? Let's say let's hold on before you get all crazy in the comments. If we're talking about a living room setup, let me talk right to the camera here. Since I got this new setup, I got the camera right above the monitor here. So if you're talking about like a living room setup, I would recommend, if you don't want to like put like wires all over the place, you have 3.1, do a front stage and a sub, right? Mm-hmm. You'll probably get a good enough experience. It's kind of like just imagine like a super beefy sound bar. That's essentially what you're going for, right? And so I would say, yeah, after the center, go to the sub, because we want to have that. What do they call it? I hate that word. The vocal intelligibility.
Oh, so Reverend Slim,
some of them are equally important.
I love to argue with Reverend Slim. Oh, I just love to argue in general. Chana knows we're arguing like right before this. That's what we do.
Yeah. Aaron's like, it wasn't me. I wasn't there for that.
I don't remember that conversation.
Yeah, we're talking about finances. Aaron.
Those are the good ones.
Look at he loves it.
Yeah, those are the ones that I'm here for all day.
You don't see him in the group chats until he started. I think he has like a keyword where like notifies him.
It pings me.
It's like ping.
I'm like,
dividend. Dividend is the keyword.
Yeah.
So
assets.
Make a financial. Let me show you. Reverend Slim says, "Nah, center first. Dialogue is important, but sub is up there." Okay. All right. So Reverend Slim doesn't like that 2 kilohertz interoral crosstalk that you get when you use stereo. So he wants to anchor the dialogue to the front, using the center channel. I'm putting words in his mouth, but I'm assuming that's why he's saying, because you get better intelligibility and also the seat to seat consistency when you have a center channel, or you move over to the left, still anchored to the center, right? I get it. I would say for a movie though, imagine you're watching a movie and you can hear the voices like crystal clear.
There's no
other type of movie. If you're watching The Big Short or Margin Call, I guess,
dude, I put on
important.
That makes sense.
I put on 300 here. If you guys seen my Instagram story, I ran Magic Beans in here. First thing I put on was 300. I have this 27-inch monitor. I finally have it on a stand, so it's off the floor. But it was like on the floor by the center channel. And damn, the bass was insane in here. I was like, holy shit. Thank God it was like 10 or 11 p.m.s. Nobody's here. But you got to have the bass. You got to have it. You got to have it.
So this is related. I was on vacation, visited some family in Minnesota.
All right.
And my uncle has a home theater setup. And he has a living room setup. So for the living room, I sent him a sub that I had. Right, sent it over, boom, set up a sub. And it totally they were just like, oh, everybody loved it. Right? Because it was integrated well. We use a mini DSP and that whole thing. But it changed up the whole experience because I think bass is the foundation for the rest of the sound. You hear that bass and then, if you have a smooth transition to the mid-range, everything just sounds great. Right?
Wait. Are you saying that they have a conversation?
Who?
Ooh, we're going to have a conversation about it.
The bass and the mid-range.
The bass
conversation. And then the mid-range talks to the highs. Aaron,
okay, so
that was for you, Aaron.
I know. I listened to it. Just
Stop answering comments.
We're gonna have our lawyers talk. I'm not suing anybody. Litigation is what you do. That's when you have your lawyers just talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Obviously, you missed the first class of the first semester of pre-law because it was like pre-law. We know this stuff going. Like everybody knows if you just Google what is litigation, and then AI it spits out like litigation is when two lawyers get together for beers
in a room
and they chat.
They chat about how the bass talks to the mid-range and the mid-range has a conversation with the highs.
Maybe the lip sync feature on the AVR, like to sync up, the lip sync. Maybe it's a litigation button. Like, they just kind of talk. They just got to they're just talking. They just got to talk.
Yeah, they got to get together.
That's the point where the sub says hello.
Got
it. That's where the sub says hello. Correct. Sorry.
Anyway.
Yes.
All right. So back to my uncle's setup. In his home theater. So in Minnesota, they have basements, right? So basement, he has like, nice TV setup. I sent him with some ELAC speakers last time. And he has a Denon, I forget, not the highest end stuff, But it was a, 5.1.2 setup. And he was just, he can afford to spend money, but he had just an extra sub lying around. I think it's probably for like it's probably like for a Klipsch like computer setup. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of sub. Anyway, we were moving stuff around and he kind of broke the RCA port on it. And part of me was like, yes. Because now we had an excuse to go buy a sub. So we went to Best Buy. We picked up a SB 2000 Pro. Was it Pro? Yeah, SB 2000, whatever. And I messaged you guys. I'm like, dang, I forgot that subs can be expensive. I think it came out to like $900, something like that. So he was just like, okay, let's get it. Right. Set it up and it changes up the whole experience in there. Right. Just adding that sub and hearing the 20 hertz rumble, we had it kind of corner loaded, just changed up the whole experience, right? We have a big family, so people were coming in, we were showing them Spider-Man and stuff. Everybody like, oh, I think I sent it to you guys when we were showing Gran Turismo, and everybody's like amazed.
Yeah, first there was nothing, and all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa!" Some bass must have hit. I mean, we saw like the cell phone video, so it wasn't really.
Yeah, and the
knocking in our video.
The center channel, I'll just tell you, it's a pretty inexpensive, not a very good center channel that came with that sub that I was talking about, that computer sub, and it's behind the TV because they don't want it. You know what I mean? They don't want it to block the screen.
Yeah.
So it's behind. That's not ideal. But I don't think anybody cared.
Yeah.
I did magic beans on those systems, and it gave me even more confidence because the speakers are a crazy mismatch. ELAC front speakers, Klipsch center channel, Orb audio.
Orb.
Yeah. And then some other little Klipsch speakers for the surrounds, like a mix, and they didn't measure very well. But it still sounded good. So it kind of gave me confidence that Magic Beans is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
If it can make those systems sound as good as they sounded, it makes me very confident that, it's doing its thing. I kind of feel like who's the guy in The Big Short? What's his name?
Oh, Christian Bale's character.
Christian Bale. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Right. But he's the crazy one, right? Like nobody believed him.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel sometimes. I'm like, I came up with this thing, and everybody's wrong. Everybody else is wrong.
Everybody else is wrong.
Everybody else is wrong.
And they realized that he was right. And he was like, gotta tell y'all.
I told you. So I'm waiting for that I told you moment.
Yeah, me too. 7.1.6.
Now, if you can't catch the show, we do have an audio version at anchor.fm/daily HiFi. So make sure to go on over there if you like to listen to the show.